fun fact, this was actually supposed to be the only video I made about Wonder Woman 1984. Had the meat of the script written out and everything. Then, as I was working on its opening, I accidentally made the video comparing and contrasting Cheetah to Catwoman and realized that I had a lot to say about Kristen Wiig's Cheetah. So, I hope you're ready for more of it. Readers, I know a lot of you won't find this a surprise, but despite me trading in my small-scale film reviews in favor of analysis and critique videos over the course of this year, I genuinely enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984. Go figure. Yes, the first fight in the mall was a bit rough, and I can definitely critique on how it was edited till the cows come home, but the fights and action sequences that followed definitely make up for it, and the performances as well. I'm just gonna be honest, I have never gained an appreciation for Maxwell Lord in the comics until I saw Pedro Pascal's depiction of him. But one thing that I was immensely entertained by, as I stated in my previous video, was Kristen Wiig's portrayal of Barbara Minerva and how the plot of 1984 handled her transformation into the villain, Cheetah. Now, consider this your spoiler warning, readers. Due to the topic of this video, there is absolutely no way for me to discuss Cheetah's future in the DCEU without talking about key plot points and devices that are used throughout this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you care about spoilers, I suggest you get someone's HBO Max login and watch it for yourself before watching the rest of this. Yes, I know it was released simultaneously on HBO Max and in theaters, but there's still a pandemic happening, and all the rich white COVID deniers that think that we only needed a collective of $1,800 for the entire year to get our lives back in order haven't gotten their flu shots yet. So forgive me if I'm not gonna suggest seeing it in theaters anytime soon. Now then, with that being said, considering that she's one of Wonder Woman's most popular villains, I really did appreciate that they kept the relationship between Barbara and Diana intact like they did in the comics in order to drive home the very tragedy of their falling out. Making the change in Barbara from already being somewhat pompous that befriended Diana to someone who didn't really have that much confidence to begin with and still ended up pinging on Diana's radar made the transition to them becoming adversaries all the more impactful, in my opinion. Especially since the change in her origin isn't regarding stumbling upon an artifact related to the Urka target Cheetah goddess this time around, but instead the MacGuffin of the movie, the Dreamstone, created by Dolos, the Greek god of trickery and guile. Or, as his DC Comics counterpart is known as, the Duke of Deception. According to the movie, the Dreamstone grants the wish of anyone touching it, but comes at the cost of something precious to them. And before Maxwell Lord stole the stone and wished to become the stone, Barbara playfully made a wish that resulted in her gaining super speed, strength, agility, reflexes, and other things that I'll focus on later in this video. But in order for her wish to be granted, the Dreamstone took away her sense of selflessness and her capability of empathy over time. As I stated in my video regarding the parallels between Cheetah and Catwoman, using her newly gained selfishness regarding the first tier of abilities she gained in the movie, and looking at Diana as someone who doesn't want her to have that power, is a pretty decent way of still establishing the dynamic that Wonder Woman and Cheetah have in the comics. Not only is she still jealous of what Diana has, but now she's actually capable of proving that she's better than her in every way. Meanwhile, Diana is constantly trying to get her to see that she sacrificed what truly made her special for the sake of acquiring what Barbara only sees on the surface. And while I had no doubt that Kristen Wiig would be able to pull it off, I was definitely pleased with her performance regarding the dynamic the movie was going for, even when she made the transition to Cheetah proper. Which is why it sucks that because this movie is set in 1984, any future stories in the DCEU involving Wonder Woman and Cheetah would have to stay relatively close to that timeline if we want to see Kristen Wiig portray the character again, especially since there's a 30+ year gap between 1984 and Justice League. And considering how fast Warner Brothers made the announcement that Wonder Woman 3 was in fact going to happen with Patty Jenkins involved, i.e. 2 days after its premiere, that fact hits all the heavier. But what if I told you that thanks to the rules that were set up in Wonder Woman 1984 regarding the Dreamstone, that I found a way to easily bring Kristen Wiig's version of Cheetah into the modern day post-Justice League era of the DCEU? Well, I did. And it's all thanks to the wishes that Barbara made in order to become Cheetah in Wonder Woman 1984. Oh yeah, that's right. I said wishes. Because Barbara didn't just make one wish. She made two. The one she made to become the apex predator and turn into Cheetah proper was her second wish, the one that was made after Maxwell Lord acquired the powers of the Dreamstone and when he began his worldwide broadcast. And that was only possible because Maxwell's wish was to become the Dreamstone, which, because of that, gave Barbara the chance for a second wish through Maxwell Lord, the new Dreamstone. The Dream Lord, if you will. Think of it as an alternate version of signing up for a new free trial of something online that requires you to create a profile with an email address, but then you use another email address to create another profile to get another free trial. You acquire something from one source. That source then transforms into something else. You still have everything you've acquired from the first version of the source now that said source is something new. But now that it is something new, you have another opportunity to acquire something else. That's what Barbara did. She gained the system by taking a Dreamstone wish, then followed it up with a Dream Lord wish. So when Maxwell Lord renounced his wish to be the Dream Lord, everyone who hadn't already renounced their Dream Lord wish when they saw Diana's invasion of his broadcast had it immediately taken away from them. That's why Barbara reverted back to her human form at the end of the movie, despite refusing to renounce her Dream Lord wish. Now, we'd definitely be singing a different tune if Barbara renounced both her Dream Lord and her Dreamstone wishes before the final confrontation with Diana and Maxwell. After all, Diana's wish was a Dreamstone wish, and she was able to easily renounce it well after Maxwell became the Dream Lord. The movie laid out those rules perfectly clear. But Barbara never renounced her Dreamstone wish either. And if we follow the rules of wish renouncing according to what Diana and Barbara discovered about Dolos's little trinket, that being that wishes can only be undone by either renouncement or destroying the stone completely, the Dreamstone would return to its original form the moment Maxwell Lord renounced his wish to be the Dreamstone. And only the wishes that were made from the Dream Lord would be the ones that were immediately cancelled by Lord's renouncement. So because she was forced to give up her Cheetah wish thanks to Lord's renouncement due to her refusal to renounce any of her wishes, only her Dreamstone wish stayed intact. And while her Dream Lord wish was to be Cheetah, her Dreamstone wish was to be
like Diana. Strong, sexy, cool, special,
and immortal. Because in the DCEU, Diana is the daughter of Hippolyta and Zeus, an Amazonian demigoddess. At the cost of her empathy and selflessness, Barbara is now just a strong, fast, invulnerable, and ageless as Diana is, and can easily transition to the 21st century to be a foe for both Wonder Woman and the Justice League. And if she truly missed her cheetah visage, all they would have to do was have Barbara interact with one of the various forms of her origin that involves Urgatarga, the cheetah goddess, in order to get it back. Or, and just hear me out here, have her regain her cheetah visage as a reward for working with who I think should be the main villain of the third Wonder Woman movie. Cersei, played by Charlize Theron, because she should be played by Charlize Theron. I mean, Charlize is pretty much Patty Jenkins' Johnny Depp. She should be in a Wonder Woman movie. And yes, if we go by how I explained Barbara's wishes worked, that does in fact mean her demigoddess abilities were not cancelled out when she gained her cheetah abilities. They, in fact, to use a gamer term right quick, stacked with each other. And the proof we have of that is Barbara and Diana's final fight. Because if her Dreamlord wish of becoming like an apex predator canceled out her Dreamstone wish to become just like Diana, not only would she have been unable to put a dent in Asteria's armor, let alone sever off bits of its wings, which not even the Spartans were able to do from what we've seen in the movie, but she wouldn't have survived the severe electrocution she suffered underwater that only left Diana unfazed by it because she was wearing Asteria's armor. So yeah, it's definitely possible for Kristen Wiig's version of Barbara to be brought to a modern post-2020 setting and still be a threat to both Diana and the League in the DCEU. And honestly, after seeing her performance in Wonder Woman 1984, she deserves it. And so do I. But I digress, readers. Your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below how you thought Cheetah was handled in Wonder Woman 1984 if you've seen it. Or if you feel like sharing with the rest of the class what you would do to explain Kristen Wiig's version of Barbara in modern day installments of the DCEU if you're not a fan of her connection to the Dreamstone. Whichever one you decide to answer, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you want to help financially support the channel, you can join my Patreon by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give a one-time donation, you can find links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi account in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.